You can't. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. All right, this is 6.3. John, say again. Because I am recording. I mean, there's no other way to record without recording you. Your voice is what you just said is on there. There's no way I can eliminate it. All right. Besides, we don't have time to talk about that other stuff. Come see me after class if you got any other issues. Okay. We are starting with the idea of, and this is a key concept. It's called slope-intercept form of linear functions. This is the most efficient way to graph linear functions. What are linear functions? Linear functions we already talked about are functions where the graph is a line. And so this slope-intercept form is the most efficient way to graph linear functions. So take your blue there, and in front of the x, put a blue m. We already know what the m is. The m is the slope. Then take your green, and after the x, put a plus b. Y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form of a linear function. And that's what you've got. You got to memorize that. That's really key. Now, I've seen students do this. They get a little confused between the formula to find the slope of 2 points. Right? M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That's to find the slope of 2 points. This is slope-intercept form of a linear function. Not only is the slope there, but the y-intercept is there. So I've got a graphic here, right? And notice on the graphic, here is the y-intercept, correct? Right? 0, negative 3. Where does the line cross the y-axis? At negative 3. Now notice the slope. What does the top number of the slope tell you? Which change, horizontal or vertical? Say it if you know it. Vertical. You got to know that. Top number's vertical. Positive, is that up or down? Up. So we got to go up 5. So from this negative 3, if I go up 5, I'm right there. And I would draw that on your notes. And the bottom is the horizontal change. Right? And positive 2 is to go right. Go right 2. And look at that. There I am right at the line, aren't I? So now I have 2 points, and any 2 points determine a line. And I'm ready to draw the line. Now I want to show you guys a couple other aspects. So if you look at the screen, let me start at this point right here. You guys see it circled? Okay. I'm going to get rid of the circle. I can do the slope again from that point. I can go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I go right 2 again, I should hit the line again. And sure enough, I do, don't I? I do. And not only that, but mathematically, don't write this, but isn't a negative 5 divided by a negative 2 the same as a positive 5 over a positive 2? Isn't it? I'm going to start at this point right up here, this point right here, and I'm going to do this negative 5 over negative 2. Negative 5 is down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And negative 2 is left 2. Don't I hit the point on the line? I do. And I can do it again. Down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And left 2. And sure enough, I hit the point. Because mathematically, a positive 5 over a positive 2 is the same mathematically as a negative 5 over negative 2. You can go either way with your slopes. You can do that. And there's a lot of value in that. But here's the point of what we're doing with slope-intercept form. The whole point of all that we're doing is that you can graph using the slope and the y-intercept. So to get good at that, let's do a couple questions first where we got to find the slope and the y-intercept. So let's look at these 3 problems here. So number one. All right, let me get my pen back. Number 1, determine the slope in blue, and then in green, and the y-intercept of each. So what does that mean? That means find the m and find the b. So the first one's easy. Somebody raise their hand, tell me what the slope is, the m for a. What is the slope? Justin? It is 2/3. There's a 2 vertical change over a 3 horizontal change. And in this form, the y-intercept, the b value is pretty clear. Somebody raise their hand, give me the b value. Zach? And it's 1. All right, can anybody do it in coordinate form? What's the y-intercept in coordinates, Dave? Not 2/3 in 1. So you're right, the 1 is there for the y value, but we're doing a y-intercept. Do you guys remember what is always the x value of every y-intercept, Seth? 0. Awesome. So that point is 0, 1. Okay, so this is saying the same thing twice. We're saying the y-intercept as b equals, or we're saying the y-intercept in coordinate form. I'm giving it to you both ways because sometimes they want it in coordinate form. So I want you to just be used to giving it either way. All right, so the second one, the slope's a little bit trickier on the second one. What's the slope on this second one for b? Somebody raise their hand. Wesley? It is 1/3, right? And we've been through that enough to understand that's a 1x. I mean, if you want to, you can draw it in there, right? That's a 1x over 3, or a 1/3 times x. The y-intercept, hopefully you all think, is a -3. So what would be the coordinates of the y-intercept? Say them if you know them. 0, -3, because the x value is always 0 for y-intercept. All right, be careful with c. Who can give me the slope for c? John? How many agree? 5/7. 5/7, right? Anybody disagree? Everybody's good? 5/7? You got to be wondering why I'm asking. I don't like 5/7. I don't like 5/7 as the slope. Justin? -2 is the slope? Anybody agree with Justin? -2? Dave's in. Adam's in. Wesley's in. Gabby's in. Lindsay's in, I think. Josh, yeah. Look, the form there is off, isn't it? If we rewrite it in the proper form, it would look like that, wouldn't it? And isn't the slope always the multiplier of the x term, the coefficient of the x? So yeah, the slope is -2. And again, we don't write -2 over 1, but if we're going to use it, we use -2 over 1. All right, so therefore then that makes the y-intercept what? Or the b value is 5/7. Hey, that's okay. It could be a fraction. And therefore coordinate form 0, 5/7. You will definitely have to do this on your quiz tomorrow and on your test next week, guaranteed. You'll have to be able to tell me slopes and y-intercepts. But again, if you remember y equals mx+ b, that's not so hard. That shouldn't be too tough. Now we can do something else to you though. We could do this. We could make you put it in slope-intercept form first before you're able to read m and b. So let's do that. So this one is putting the following into SI form. And again, what is that? That's slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. And again, what are you memorizing? Y equals mx+ b, right? I mean, that's what you got to know. Y equals mx+ b. So that's the form we're going to put it in. Once it's in that form, then we're able to read the slopes and the y-intercepts. So what would you do with this one? What would you do with this mathematically to get it in the slope-intercept form? Anybody? Kyle? Yeah, we're going to divide each term by 2. All right? You're just going to use a shortcut. That isolates the y. Whoops, that should be black. And then we end up with a 3/2 x minus 7/2. Is that okay with everybody? So class, what's the slope? Say it if you know it. 3/2. A 3 vertical change for a 2 horizontal. And what's the b value? Say it if you know it. Right? And be careful, that's a negative, right? Negative 7/2. So the coordinates 0, negative 7/2. All right, just solve it for y. Put it in slope-intercept form. All right, the second one's got a little bit more involved. So what would you do first? Somebody? Wesley, what do you want to do first? Correct, right? We're going to move that 3x by adding its opposite to both sides. Now, where should I put that 3x? Behind the 6 or in front of the 6? Matt? In front, right? Because it's y equals mx plus b. So let's go negative 3x plus 6. What's next? What do I do next? What do I do next? Gabby? We're going to divide both sides by negative 2. So again, that's divide every term by a negative 2. If you'll just do it to every term, you'll save a step there. All right, that isolates the y all by itself on the left. Would we leave it negative over negative? No, we'll change it to a positive 3/2 x, and then positive 6 divided by negative 2 is a negative 3. All right, that's all the work. Right now it's easy to find the m. So hopefully you agree the m is 3/2 again. Oh, look at that. Hey, we'll talk about this later on in the week, but you know what? These two lines are parallel lines. Because watch this. The one line, the top line, has an angle of up 3 for every 2 to the left, right? Up 3, 2. But you know what? The second line has the same thing. Up 3 and 2. It makes them parallel. Interesting. Now, again, I don't know the orientation of them, but that's the idea. All right, and so the b value of the second one is what? Negative 3. They're actually really close to each other as well, or 0, negative 3. Okay? If I really put them in the right order, I'd put the black one just above the blue one. The bottom one just above the top one. If you don't realize that yet, don't worry about it. No problem. Okay, so number 3. Remember I told you from the beginning, y equals mx plus b is the best form for graphing linear functions. So number 3, graphing linear functions using y equals mx plus b. It's really easy. It's really, really, really easy. All right, number 1, plot the y-intercept first. Plot the y-intercept first. And remember, that's the b value, right? Remember last night how you had to plot the point and then use the slope to get the second point? Your y-intercept's that point. So you're going to plot that always first, y-intercept first. All right, next. This is key, from the y-intercept. Right? Last night you went from the point. So now we go from the y-intercept, use the slope, that should be blue, use the slope to plot the second point. From the y-intercept, use the slope to plot the second point, and then I'll finish off in red, draw a line through the 2 points. And that's it. Draw a line through the 2 points. All right, we're going to do a bunch on your sheet in a minute, but I just want to pull up a program that Mike wrote. Mike wrote this program for me in Java because it real quickly graphs linear functions. So you can see here to the right, you can see the slope, the m, and the y-intercept, the b, and here's the function. Y equals 5, 6x. He has to have it plus or minus 2 or minus 2. All right, so what do you plot first? We're supposed to plot the y-intercept, right? So there's the y-intercept at 0, -2. Do you agree? So what does the slope tell you to do from there? Now, again, I know some of you, it's a little small. That's a 5/6. What does the 5 tell you to do? Go up or down, left or right? Up 5, and the 6 tells you to do what? Go to the right 6. So from that point, go up 5, that's the red line, and to the right, the green line 6, and there's the second point. This is how we're going to graph using the slope and y-intercept, and then what do? Draw a line through them. Now, again, we're going to put arrows on both ends of our lines. That's the way it should be, but I guess he didn't figure out how to get an arrow on the ends of them, all right? I'll do one more here with this, and then we're going to do our own. Let's see. What do you guys want the slope to be? Yeah, you want to make it big, don't you? Let's go 5. We'll go 5/1. And I'll make the y-intercept 6. All right, so so y equals 5x plus 6. What would you want to do first? You'd want to plot the y-intercept first. So y-intercept there is at 0, 6, right? And then from the what does the slope tell you to do? What does the top tell you to do? Say it if you know it. Go up 5, and then the bottom tells you to do what? Go right 1. So I don't know what it'll do here with its graph here, but we'll see. Okay, so we're like off the chart. So it went from that point up 5, and it went right 1. And let's see where it sticks the line. Yeah, right through there. Even though you can't see it, that's where it is, right? It's up 5 and to the right 1. All right, so let's do some on our paper here. So let's look at A. Wow, is that half in the wrong place on yours too, or just mine? Is that halfway down there? All right, it should be up here. And this x/3 should be up here. All right. I guess I moved everything and didn't catch my fractions and move them. All right, so number 4. Graph the following using the slope. I keep getting that black. Using the slope and the y-intercept. And you can abbreviate if you want. You can write it out if you want. But that's what we're doing, right? Now, the only thing students mess up is sometimes they forget to do the y-intercept first. So look, do you agree that's my y-intercept right there? The -2. So I'm going to plot that thing first, right? That is first. Y-intercept goes first. Now look at your slope. Say it if you know it. What does the 1 tell you to do? Say it if you know it. Up 1. All right. So from there, I go up 1. And the 2, what does the 2 tell you? Say it if you know it. Go right 2. Put that second point, and now we know to draw our line through those 2 points. It's what we're doing. This is a key concept. Really important that you get it in math. All right, somebody tell me how to graph B. Somebody who wants to tell me how to graph B. Same old people. Come on. Come on. Somebody new. Gavin, tell me what to do. Where should I put it? Tell me where to put it. 0, 5. I agree. So up 5 on the y-axis. And I've done that first. All right, what do I do next, Gavin? And what is the slope? All right, be careful. There's a negative sign there, right? So the slope is -1/3. So what do I do? Okay, so 1 down and 3 left. 3 right. The negative's in the top. What's the bottom? A positive. The negative's the top. The positive is the bottom. And Gavin, where do I start to do this 1 down and 3 right? Where do I start at? At the y-intercept. So down 1 and to the right 3. That's my second point. Draw my line. Huh, I got yellow. Brother. Hey, can I show you something? Look up at the graph again. Look at this point right here. I can do the slope again if I want. I can go down 1 and to the right 3 again. Don't I hit the line again? And look at the y-intercept. What if I do the slope backwards? What if I go up 1 and to the left 3? Don't I hit the line as well? Because isn't a negative 1 over a positive 3 the same as a positive 1 over a negative 3? Isn't it? Right? Aren't these equal? So can I go up 1 and left 3? I can. I go either way with my slope. But all you need is 2 points to graph the line, right? Okay, so when you come across something like C, what are you thinking? What are you thinking to do C? Matt? Okay, and so what does that tell you to do then? You got to get it into that form, right? So this is like what we did a minute ago. You got to get it y equals. So hopefully you agree. Let's divide everything by 2. Now we've got y equals 3x minus 4. Somebody tell me how to graph this. Somebody tell me. John? On where? The x or y axis? Correct. So negative 4 on the y is right there. Did that first. And John, how do I use my slope to get the second point? All right, everybody pay attention here. Because now you got to worry about that 1 on the bottom, right? So you got to go up 3 and right 1. Good job, John. And now that line is going right through there, right? Line is going right through there. Okay? All right, be careful with something like D. You got to move the negative 5x, and you got to move the negative. So let's add a positive 5x. I'm going to do this one kind of quick for time's sake. So we get negative y, come on, colors, equals 5x minus 6. And guys, if we change the sign of the y, what do we got to do on the other side? You got to change their signs. This is a negative 5x and a positive 6. If you wanted to do it by the work, you would divide everything by a negative 1. But do you see how that changes the sign of everything? So the positive 5x becomes a negative 5x. The negative 6 becomes a positive 6. So you can do the shortcut again when we need to sign. All right, graph the y-intercept at 6. Do that first. From there, use your slope. Go down 5 and to the right 1. Put your second point. Draw the line between them. That's it. Not hard. 0, 6. From that point, go down 5 and to the right 1. All right, let's see if we have time for a couple special cases. These will go quickly. All right, special cases. These are in red horizontal lines and in green vertical lines. Horizontal lines and vertical lines. Okay, look at A here. Look at A. This is stuff like y equals 3, y equals 7, y equals negative 1, y equals 5, y equals a half. If I put it in y equals mx plus b, There is no x, right? It must have been 0x. 0 times x is 0, and it's gone. All right? And these are horizontal lines. Whenever it's y equals, it's a horizontal line. So say it if you know it. What's the slope? What's the slope? 0, right? The m value is 0. What's the y-intercept? Say it if you know it. 3, or coordinates of 0, 3. The graph is easy. This is a, come on, red. This is a horizontal line through the y-coordinate of 3. Every point on that line has a y-coordinate of 3. Every point on that line has a y-coordinate of 3. Okay? So the second situation is a little bit trickier for you guys. This second situation is when it's x equal -4, x equal 1, x equal 10, x equal 37, x equals 6.2. These are vertical lines. These are vertical lines. And you just have to know that. My advice is graph these. You don't need graph paper. You can just sketch it. I'll show you that in a minute. But graph them. This is a vertical line through an x value of -4, because every x coordinate of that line is -4, right? No matter what point you pick, the x coordinate is -4. It's a vertical line. So class, what's the slope of a vertical line? What's the slope of infinity, right? Its biggest. Again, the book doesn't say infinity. They say undefined. So either one. I like infinity. It's really what's there. All right, be careful on the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept? Not infinity. No. Where does it cross the y-axis? A lot of people want to say 0. Does it cross through the 0, 0 point? So really, you have to say none. There is none. It's parallel. All right, so last thing, real quickly. Let me show you one other problem like this. Last thing. What if they asked you y equals 2? And they asked you what's the slope and what's the y-intercept? This is all you need to do. Give yourself a real quick Cartesian plane. And where the 2 is, graph your vertical line, right? Just needs to be a quick sketch. All right, now read the slope. What's the slope? Infinity or undefined. What's the y-intercept? None. So if you know how to sketch it, because again, there's no way out of the equation that's simplistic to get you those values. Oh, you definitely need graph paper for tonight. All right, tonight's work is page 248. 248. 1 through 10, don't have a cow. A lot of those are quick. 13, 14. 17, 18. 22. 24, 26, and 28. And we do have a quiz mañana. All right. Have a great day.